the Black Sea has long been a strategic theater for regional power plays. From the days of the Ottoman Empire, through the Soviet era, and now in modern times, the Black Sea has represented more than just a body of water for the nations that surround it. It's a key artery for trade, a strategic choke point for naval power, and, perhaps most importantly, a gateway to geopolitical influence. In recent years, the Black Sea has taken center stage once again as Russia and Ukraine have become embroiled in a conflict that has escalated into an all-out war. In this video, we'll explore the naval tensions between these two countries, the strategic significance of the Black Sea, the military assets in play, and the broader geopolitical implications that this maritime conflict holds not just for the region, but for the world. Historical significance of the Black Sea. The Black Sea has always been a focal point in geopolitics. Throughout history, it's been a crucial hub for trade, a battleground for empires, and a strategic naval theater. For centuries, control of the Black Sea was vital for any power looking to dominate the surrounding regions. Russia, in particular, has long viewed control of the Black Sea as essential to its security and its broader ambitions. This perspective dates back to the 18th century, when Russia fought several wars with the Ottoman Empire, ultimately securing access to the Black Sea and the warm water ports it so desperately needed. The importance of the region was solidified during the Soviet era, when the Black Sea Fleet became a cornerstone of Soviet naval power. For Ukraine, the Black Sea is just as vital. The port city of Odessa, located on Ukraine's southern coast, is not only one of the country's most important cities but also a critical lifeline for its economy. Prior to the war, Ukraine's grain exports, which were a significant part of the global food supply, flowed through Black Sea ports. The loss of control over these ports could have severe economic and security consequences for Kyiv. The annexation of Crimea and its naval implications the most significant flashpoint in the modern naval conflict between Russia and Ukraine is the 2014 annexation of Crimea. Crimea, which juts out into the Black Sea, has long been a strategic prize. It was home to Russia's Black Sea Fleet, stationed at Sevastopol, and provided Moscow with control over key maritime routes and military infrastructure in the region. When Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, it not only seized a piece of Ukrainian territory but also dramatically altered the balance of power in the Black Sea. Overnight, Russia gained full control over Sevastopol and other key military assets in Crimea, strengthening its naval presence in the Black Sea and allowing it to project power more effectively throughout the region. For Ukraine, the annexation of Crimea was a devastating blow to its naval capabilities. It lost access to Sevastopol and its fleet was reduced to a shadow of its former self. But perhaps more importantly, the annexation set the stage for the current naval tensions in the Black Sea, as both Russia and Ukraine began to maneuver for control of the region's waters. Blockades and sea lanes, the economic front line. One of the most significant aspects of the naval conflict in the Black Sea is the impact it has had on trade and economic activity. The Black Sea is a vital trade route, not only for Ukraine but also for other countries in the region, including Romania, Bulgaria, and Georgia. Ukraine's ports, particularly Odessa, are critical hubs for the export of grain, coal, and other goods. However, since the war began, Russia has increasingly sought to impose a blockade on Ukraine's Black Sea ports, disrupting these vital trade routes. Russia's blockade of Ukrainian ports is part of a broader strategy to weaken Ukraine economically. By cutting off access to the sea, Russia aims to choke off Ukraine's ability to export goods, particularly grain, which is a key revenue source for the country. This has had far-reaching consequences, not just for Ukraine, but for the global economy as well. Ukrainian grain exports are a critical part of the global food supply, and the blockade has contributed to rising food prices and shortages around the world. To counter this, Ukraine has sought alternative routes for its exports, including overland routes through neighboring countries. However, these alternatives are far less efficient than the sea routes, and Ukraine's economy continues to suffer as a result of the blockade. Russia's naval dominance, the Black Sea Fleet Russia's Black Sea Fleet plays a central role in the naval conflict between the two nations. Based primarily in Sevastopol, Crimea, the fleet is one of Russia's most significant naval forces and includes surface vessels, submarines, and air assets. Its primary mission is to secure Russia's control over the Black Sea and project power into the Mediterranean. Since the annexation of Crimea, Russia has modernized and expanded its Black Sea Fleet, deploying advanced surface vessels and submarines armed with cruise missiles. These forces have been actively involved in operations against Ukraine, launching missile strikes against Ukrainian targets from the sea. Russia's ability to strike from the Black Sea has provided it with a significant advantage in the war, allowing it to hit Ukrainian infrastructure without having to rely solely on land-based forces. Additionally, the presence of Russian submarines in the Black Sea has been a constant threat to Ukraine and its allies. These submarines, armed with Caliber cruise missiles, can strike targets deep within Ukraine's territory, further complicating Kyiv's defensive efforts. Ukrainian naval resistance, from guerrilla tactics to sea drones. Despite Russia's naval dominance, Ukraine has not been passive in the face of maritime aggression. While its navy is significantly smaller and less well-equipped than Russia's, Ukraine has adopted a range of innovative and asymmetric tactics to counter Russian superiority. One of the most notable examples of Ukraine's naval strategy is its use of small, agile vessels and sea drones to harass Russian ships. These sea drones, which are remotely controlled and packed with explosives, have been used to strike Russian vessels in the Black Sea, creating a psychological and tactical threat to the larger Russian fleet. Although these drones are not capable of sinking major warships, they have forced the Russian Navy to adopt more defensive postures, limiting its operational freedom. Additionally, Ukraine has utilized anti-ship missiles, such as the Neptune missile, to target Russian naval assets. In one of the most significant moments of the war, Ukraine successfully targeted and sank the Russian guided missile cruiser Moskva, the flagship of the Black Sea Fleet, in April 2022. The sinking of the Moskva was not only a symbolic victory for Ukraine but also demonstrated that even a smaller naval force could inflict serious damage on a more powerful adversary through well-executed tactics. Ukraine has also engaged in a form of naval guerrilla warfare, using small, fast boats to disrupt Russian operations and lay mines in strategic areas of the Black Sea. These tactics, while not enough to turn the tide of the conflict entirely, have demonstrated Ukraine's resilience and creativity in the face of overwhelming odds. The role of Turkey and the Montreux Convention. Turkey, which controls the Bosporus Strait, plays a key role in the Black Sea's naval dynamics. The Bosporus Strait is the narrow waterway that connects the Black Sea to the Mediterranean, and under the Montreux Convention of 1936, Turkey has the right to regulate the passage of warships through the strait. Since the outbreak of the war, Turkey has sought to maintain a delicate balance between Russia and Ukraine. While it has provided some support to Ukraine, including the sale of Bayraktar drones, it has also maintained diplomatic relations with Russia, which is a major trade partner and energy supplier. Under the terms of the Montreux Convention, Turkey has limited the movement of Russian warships through the Bosporus, effectively closing off a key route for reinforcements to the Black Sea Fleet. However, this has not prevented Russia from using the naval assets already stationed in the Black Sea to continue its operations. Naval strategies and the future of the Black Sea conflict. As the war continues, the Black Sea will remain a critical theater of operations. Both Russia and Ukraine are acutely aware of the strategic importance of controlling the sea lanes and key maritime infrastructure. For Russia, maintaining its dominance in the Black Sea is crucial for projecting power into the Mediterranean and maintaining its economic influence over the region. For Ukraine, regaining access to its Black Sea ports is essential for the country's economic recovery and long-term security. In the short term, we can expect to see continued naval skirmishes and blockades as both sides vie for control of the Black Sea. Russia will likely continue its efforts to choke off Ukraine's access to the sea, while Ukraine will persist in using innovative tactics to harass and weaken Russian naval forces. Looking further ahead, the outcome of the naval conflict in the Black Sea could have far-reaching implications for the broader war. If Ukraine is able to break Russia's naval blockade and regain control of its ports, it could bolster the country's economic resilience and provide a critical lifeline for its war effort. Conversely, if Russia succeeds in tightening its grip on the Black Sea, it could further isolate Ukraine and cement its dominance over the region. Conclusion: the Black Sea remains a focal point in the broader conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Its strategic importance cannot be overstated, and the naval tensions that have played out on its waters are a microcosm of the larger struggle for power and influence in the region. As the war grinds on, the battle for the Black Sea will continue to shape the course of the conflict and, potentially, the future of Eastern Europe.